I'm Lauren, and I'm a student at BYU, but in 121 days, I'll be a missionary in California. This podcast was recorded at
9:29, Sunday, the 14th of April.
Things may have changed by the time you hear this. For example, I'll probably be hitting up the streets of Bakersfield talking to everyone about Jesus.
All right, so you need to know about this stuff because you're at BYU and you need to take advantage of everything you've paid for. So this is kind of like stretching your dollar, but you're paying a lot of dollars, so there's a lot to stretch. So let's get to it. All right, so the tech support, which is amazing, can help you with pretty much all BYU-related issues like Pharos. We all know and hate Pharos. For those of you coming in, that's the printing service. But basically, if your computer has problems or your learning suite is down and it's 3 in the morning, whatever, you get to call the support service or text them or message them, and they will respond. Usually it's not too long of a wait, but students run this, and it's a free service to everyone that's a student at BYU. Also run through the tech support people are email aliases. You get about 8, and those are professional-looking @edus from BYU that you get to sign up for through their website, and you can show your employer your email address to verify that you're a part of Brigham Young University, and they will just bounce all the emails sent to that address straight to whatever address that you prefer. So that's a really nice service. Don't use for multiple free trials on Amazon, Students, Spotify, Hulu, etc., because that is against the honor code. More free things, UTA. That's Utah Transit Authority for you out-of-staters. The UVX, I don't know what that stands for, but it's like a big accordion bus. You'll see it all the time. It just goes from the Orem, Provo stations, and those are the front runner stations, and you could take the front runner and then tracks downtown if you ever want to go to conference or just chill at museums they have down there, go to some symphony in town. The tracks would also be free with your student ID pass. It's a really cool tap on, tap off, and you're good to go. Free UTA service, which is really helpful if you don't have a car, and if you want to go somewhere where it's crowded and there's like no parking, it's a nice benefit to have because you're going to BYU. If you utilize UTA, you take the UVX to the front runner station and you take that up to the Salt Lake Center. BYU has a Salt Lake Center where you can take classes from John By the Way. You could take your Econ 110 class with a smaller class size. You get more one-on-one with the teacher because some of the classes can have 270 students, and it might be a little overwhelming for some of you coming into college to have that big of a class. So the Salt Lake Center, you can take that in the evenings or in the mornings, whatever your style is. Make sure it works with your schedule, with the transportation, but UTA is free. So this next topic might not seem super informative or necessary, but there's so many lectures that you can go to for free as a BYU student. I just went to one called the BYU Easter Conference, and people were coming from all over because they were really, really good and the spirit was strong. And there's just a lot of opportunities that you can take advantage of by going to the Kennedy Center or another lecture hall that has some scheduled event. Almost, I'd say every single time, but almost every single time, there's somebody speaking that is a professional or expert in their field, someone that can inform you to be a better citizen of the world. And it's good to go to those every once in a while, especially the Tuesday devotionals, because a lot of times apostles come to those and they're really popular, and everything on campus is shut down anyways, so that's something you should know. Don't try to go to the testing center or buy something at any store on campus if it's Tuesday morning at 11-ish, because it will be closed. Harold B. Lee, rest in peace. That man has a legacy on this campus because the most insured building by the church is the HBLL, the big building on campus, underground, like several different floors, so many cool resources. If you end up living in the library, they are nonchalant about people taking naps. They'll play music when they close, pretty loud, bopping music to get you up out of your seat and not in trouble for staying past midnight or whenever they close that night. They do have extra hours for finals and I think midterms. But what you want to do if you kind of live there is know the cool quiet spots. They have specific rooms that you can rent out for free. They have a media center where you can rent out cameras, GoPros, any sort of digital fun that you want to have with that is free as long as you get it back. There's a fee if you don't get it back in time, or if you break it, obviously. But it's super cool, so don't feel stressed. You can take a loan out from the library and have a really nice Canon. I did that for this project, and here are some of the pictures that I took with the Canon that I rented. And I knew how to use it, but they can teach you a little bit too. There's lots of online courses that you can take through BYU to be more literate in certain online programs, and that will help build your resume. Also, if you live on the mercies and loans and stuff of the HBLL, there are free phone chargers that you can rent 2 hours at a time, and headphones and printers all over. Those aren't free. That's a hassle. But other than that, I could live in the library. They have vending machines and everything, and there's a no zone and a snack zone that is pretty popular. But there's plenty of places to study. There will never ever be a full library because there's so many nooks and chairs and booths and places you can find to study and really get that homework done.